Good morning. Thank you for being here. We wanted to give the community an update regarding the storm that passed through here yesterday. Elkhart, we believe, was Elkhart County, but primarily Elkhart going east was hit extremely hard. And we wanted to make sure to make you aware of the extent of the damage, the ongoing cleanup, and obviously the ability to be able to get power back restored to our residents. We are very, very thankful. And I actually had the pleasure of being able to say this after the tornado, that we have not received reports on any injuries regarding the storm last night. And that's a blessing. I would like to ensure to let you know, though, in regards to the damages, there were 78 incidents of damage, 18 damaged structures. Roughly about 1,000 people in the city limits were without power, largely impacting the Dinehart slash Hoff. Largely the Dinehart Hiawatha area, which is still out of power as we speak. I believe Hawthorne School is out of power, as well as Pierre Moran and Roosevelt Elementary School. And so those schools obviously are not, they're not in service today. And we hope that the power will be restored very, very soon. The reports of damage that we've been getting them all throughout the city on probably any line that the city has. But we want to make sure that there's the right way for residents to report incidents of damage, incidents of power being out, and any prolonged damage that has occurred that we have not been made aware of to date. The non-emergency police number, which is for emergencies that aren't 911 threatened issues, should be reported to 574-293-2175. That's the non-emergency number for the Elkhart Police Department. The obviously 911 emergencies should be reported to 911, and we've been receiving quite a lot of them. As a matter of fact, about what, 2/3 or 3 times, as we received 3 times as many non-emergency calls between the hours of 5 and 6, I believe, last night, than we normally receive. And so I get it, and most of us do. When there's an emergency or when your lights go out and you believe you're in an emergency situation, you call 911. I do not want you to avoid that, but I'd like for us to think through the fact that if we are moving on non-emergency numbers with our emergency resources, then we probably utilized a resource that could have been used in another capacity for someone who was really in a threatening situation. So if residents could think through that, we really would appreciate it. We do have our My Elkhart 311 app, and so I would ask that anyone would download that during emergencies like we're in as we speak. We utilize that app to know that there are issues and circumstances that we need to address, and we actually are looking at all of the entries in that app in real time. And so please ensure that you use that as well. I want to let you know that given that we haven't received injury reports, we are receiving many reports of cleanup that's necessary. And that cleanup is being done throughout the city. As a matter of fact, our Buildings and Grounds Department will be removing some restrictions for tree and branch pickup. And what that means is that if you can get your limbs and branches and trees, portions of trees that you have to the roadside, and keep them, please, in piles of 4 by 4 by 10, right, Mike? 4 by 4 by 10. We can get them out as effectively and as efficiently as possible to get your streets back to a space where we can get you can get through, and we can get others through as well. Tree trunks of any size, up to 6 feet long, we will pick up. City cannot assist in cleaning up private properties due to the liability on private property. So, but if you can get your debris to the side of the street, we'll pick it up for you. We are working to coordinate other activities with other community groups, whether they're neighborhood association or churches, in areas to help residents who may not be able to help themselves. And so with that said, if that's called in, we'll work in that area in order to try to assist. So please, at this time, neighbors have to be neighbors. We did a wonderful job of neighbors being neighbors during that tornado. And there were so many people that just came to the assistance of others. And we would like for that to continue to exist through any inclement weather. And so I wanted to make sure to let you know that the people that's standing behind me are the folk that are with our emergency services. And they have been just doing a yeoman's job from the time that we received the initial calls of issues or the straight line winds that came through. And I'll let Josh Shook from our county emergency. Josh Shook, that's a pretty interesting name, given that we're in the midst of an event. Josh, I'd like for him to walk through the emergency response from the county. Josh?
Good morning, everybody. Josh Shook, Deputy Director of Operations with Elkhart County Emergency Management. We do have assessment teams out working in the county today, checking on those folks that may have been impacted and looking for damage and things like that that maybe we're not aware of, as well as some of the other things that were reported both through the news media and social media and things like that, so we can correlate and collect all of that information and make sure it's reported at the state level so we can get assistance if we do reach that level or become available to us. I will urge everybody through the city. Obviously, you can use the My 311 app that Elkhart City has, as well as dial 311 to report damages. Indiana 211 has also been activated for Elkhart County residents and anybody in Elkhart County to report damages to your homes or anything like that as well. That's all I have.
Hello, yes, my name is Rodney Dale, Elkhart City Fire Chief. From our perspective, our goal was to make sure that any property that was damaged, no one was trapped inside, or maybe with the power being out, some people require oxygen, they need electricity for that, or different power sources. We want to find those people, give them the help that they need, and we were able to do that. We called in overtime, so we had an extra engine company in service. We were also able to get our Kubota staff, those are just smaller vehicles, almost like golf carts. They were able to get in between the small areas and just get up to houses, knock on doors and make sure people are okay, and they did an excellent job with that. So I want to just say congratulations to our team and keep up the good work, because they really made it a lot easier on everyone. So the citizens appreciated it. We located one guy that was out of power with his medical needs, and we got him helped out, so that worked out great for him.
Hello, Dan Milanese, Chief, Elkhart Police Department. As far as the police department is concerned, we were very, again, thankful that there were no injuries, major events for us. So obviously the biggest thing for us is going to be safety and security, making sure that people are safe in the homes, the communities are safe, and responding to anything that requires us to kind of step in and take action and help with. We've been working very closely with the fire department, with 911 communications, as well as the street department, forestry, buildings and grounds. Anytime you think of safety, we think of traffic as well. So getting traffic, the amount of traffic we have coming into the city is quite extensive. So having a safe traffic pattern for main arteries coming in, as well as people that are moving and operating around their neighborhoods in some of the smaller areas as far as traffic patterns, but making sure we're working with them, identifying those, marking those, and then our crews are just doing an amazing job of getting cleaned up. I think before even morning hit and the morning rush right around 4 o'clock in the morning, they had, I think, almost every single main artery and thoroughfare coming into the city opened and cleaned up. So that's been a huge thing for us. If we don't have to focus on the safety of the traffic going around or debris in the roadway, that makes it safer for everybody. So working closely with them to identify those things. As far as people, and we talked a little bit about cleanup, the mayor mentioned some of those things. One of the things you want to be careful of, again, is sometimes there are people out there that do want to take advantage of people in times of crisis. So if you have a tree in your house, that could be considered a time of crisis for you. If somebody's coming out and promising work, make sure you're getting with your insurance companies, talk with them, your homeowner's insurance. If you have a landlord, talk to your landlord about their insurance, and really try to vet some of those options and who's going to pay for what prior to kind of entering into some of those agreements. We certainly don't want anybody taken advantage of in our community. Work very hard not to, but we can't be everywhere all the time. So just making sure that. And then with power being out, we also understand that that could be a difficult time for everybody. So if you see something that looks out of the ordinary, you see something that could be just not normal for your neighborhood, activity, somebody moving about, give us a call. We'll be glad to come out and respond. That's what we're here for. Our 911 center does a great job of fielding those calls and getting them to us quickly, and so we can help out from the police aspect of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, we've been poised to be able to be there to help our residents when it's during these times of need. And we will continue to be there and thoughtful as we go about doing it. There are many opportunities for our residents to get involved with helping one another. And we want to make sure to continue to encourage that, as I said before. We can't do it all, but what we can do is provide a platform for others to be able to get involved. And so the numbers that I talked to you about earlier, I would hope that they are being used, and by the calls that we've received, we know that some have it, but we've also seen where others are still, whether they're commenting with social media or whether or not they're calling our office, still haven't had an opportunity to understand some of the ways that we deal with storms. As for instance, we did get some calls, received a call about why weren't the sirens around the city on prior to the straight line winds coming through. And that was because those come on when the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning. And those come on for audible outside use to ensure that residents and people that are in earshot of that are making it inside. So it is there specifically around a tornado warning, and there was not a tornado warning issued. And so the sirens did not come on. These were what we understand to be straight line winds, and obviously providing a pretty big impact or wallop. And so with that said, as we go through storm season, which is where we are right now, we know that there will probably be other warnings coming into our area, and we want to make sure that our residents are prepared. And so please use these resources that we've been giving you, and your emergency responders will be absolutely on the watch. We are, again, very thankful that we didn't have personal injury as a result of this storm, and we will continue to monitor through the cleanup to ensure that we're there for residents moving forward. Thank you. I guess I should ask, are there any questions?
Out of the 18 structures that received damage, are any major?
Are there any major structures? Well, we've seen some of them that have been practically destroyed, and we haven't assessed the cost as we speak. But all we can see is flying debris, roofs that have been, trees that are down on structures, which looks like very extensive damage. but we haven't assessed any of the cost as we speak. But based on what we've seen in pictures and from some of our drone analyses, it appears to be pretty extensive in certain spaces.
You said there were about 1,000 people without power last night. Do you know how many people have had their power restored?
There's about 1,000 remaining.
There's 1,000 remaining. So that I should have said there are, maybe I'd skip 1,000 people, roughly 1,000 people without. That's true. There are 1,000, I didn't say without before. Thank you. So there are 1,000 remaining that are still out. So I know that last night when we first heard, there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 countywide, 63,000 countywide that were out. And so relative to Elkhart specific, we know that there are 1,000 that are still out. And we are hopeful that they'll get restored as quickly as possible. So thanks for that question. Any other questions?
Can you talk a little more just on the resilience that you saw from the last tornado and how you guys kind of hope to use similar kind of strategies and community for this weather event?
Well, you know, living in the Midwest, actually dealing with lake effect weather events, we have been through it, and we realize that there's more to come. And so relative to the way that we culturally look at weather events, we realize that we are in a very resilient community. And I'm thankful and blessed to know that we have Elkhartians that reach out to each other and help one another. We also have other cities that do the same. I've been in communication with Mayor Wood, and we've talked about each one of us ensuring that if indeed we can help one another, we will. And so resiliency comes from a sense of service to people. And I think that Elkhart is made up that way. And we saw it in relationship to groups, whether they were neighborhood associations or churches or even small groups that just banded together and came and helped different blocks be able to help some of the seniors that were in those spaces, some of the disabled that were in homes that needed that help. And we would hope that we can continue, that would continue through this storm and through any of the others that could come into Elkhart. So that is a part of our culture, part of our nature, and we will hopefully continue to have it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.